Hey, what's up? Welcome to sports, everyone. I'm Jason Kahn. Florida State softball has waited 7 years for a regional title, and now they're one win away from advancing to the Super Regionals. South Alabama has to beat the Noles twice. Perhaps another big performance from Maddie O'Brien would help. Early on, Lacey Waldrop gives up the solo shot to Hallie Fagan. South Alabama takes a 1-0 lead. In the fourth, Caitlin Griffith steps up and takes this Waldrop offering over the wall. A 2-run shot. South Alabama shuts out FSU 3-0. That means we go to a game 3. Lacey Waldrop taking the mound once again. She started every game in the regional tournament. That's amazing. We bring you straight to the 7th, down to their final out. Kelly Hensley. This is going to go down as one of the top softball moments in Seminole history. Grand Slam ties it at 6. Extra innings, Victoria East, the freshman, joining Hensley in the book of dramatics. The solo jack gives the Lady Noles the 1-run lead. Monica Perry throws 9 shutout innings in relief during the doubleheader today. It's an incredible comeback for the ages. FSU wins 7-6, advancing to the Super Regionals, and I still got goosebumps from that game. Florida State baseball will be the 2 seed entering the conference tourney on Wednesday. But before they play in Durham, they have to make a pit stop in Chapel Hill. The Seminoles will play their regular season finale against ACC #1 North Carolina. Florida State clinched the Atlantic Division against Clemson on Saturday. Now they get to play the Coastal Division champs. UNC was a late addition to the Garnet and Gold schedule. That game is tomorrow night at 6. But this upcoming matchup will not take away from winning their 7th straight division crown.
That just goes to show how strong our program is and how well we get in there and get after it each year. You know, we bring in guys who are ready to fight.
This group learned from the group last year, who learned from the other group, and it just continues on backwards. And that's very gratifying from a coaching standpoint.
It sure is. Here are the matchups for this week's ACC tournament. Top 8 teams make it. It's done in a pool play format. FSU will play Georgia Tech on Wednesday morning at 11. They will also have to play Virginia Tech and Virginia on Thursday and Saturday. Stephen McGee is a semifinalist for the Johnny Bench Award. That's given to the best catcher in college baseball. McGee is one of 15 catchers nationwide up for the honor. The Port St. Lucie, Florida native is hitting .299 with 8 homers. He started in every game. The Florida Gators earned the 8th seed in the SEC tournament. The Gators lost the series to Georgia yesterday, but the Bulldogs finished last in the conference, eliminating them from SEC tournament play. Florida opens the single elimination tourney with 9-seed Texas A&M. That game is Tuesday afternoon at 4:30. Top 4 seeds get a bye: Vanderbilt, LSU, Arkansas, and South Carolina. Valdosta State softball only a few wins away from the national title game. The last team to win back-to-back trophies was California University of Pennsylvania. That was 15 years ago. Valdosta State beat Alabama Huntsville in the 3-game Super Regional yesterday. It's their 2nd consecutive Super Regional title. The Lady Blazers are set to play Malloy College from Long Island, New York. That game is Thursday afternoon at 2:30. The tournament is being played in Salem, Virginia. Florida State divers have one more day to qualify for the World Diving Championships. The trials are being held at Morecambe Aquatic Center this week. In the women's 10-meter finals, FSU junior Katrina Young came in 5th. She had a score of 899.55. Victoria Lamb from Tennessee Diving finished in 1st.
I'm trying to get back on the international scene and make people aware that I want to be there with them and be competitive with people internationally. So, yeah, I was pretty nervous because these are some of the best divers in the nation.
The Florida State men's golf team is now preparing for the NCAA Championship Tournament in Atlanta. The Seminoles clinched their spot with a 3rd-place finish in the regionals. Senior Chase Seifert had the Noles' best score at 12 under, tied for 2nd overall. This will be the Noles' 3rd trip to the NCAAs in 4 years.
Everyone that has played here before knows how much fun it is. We pride ourselves. One of our team mottos is no one works harder than we do, and no one has any more fun when we play. So this is a reward at this point. These guys are going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to go play well.
Byron Nelson Championship final round. Keegan Bradley comes in with the lead on the 16th hole. Bradley with a nice chip shot onto the green. Feet away from the hole on the birdie putt. It lips out, bringing him back to par. He finished the day at 11 under. Sangmoon Bae in the lead on the 18th. He sinks the putt there, 13 under overall, and wins his first PGA Tour title. Taking a look at the fishing game forecast, those are your peak times to go hunt and go fish. So pretty exciting for Florida State softball. They move on to the Super Regionals. We'll find out exactly who they play tomorrow.
I know there's a couple shouts in the newsroom when that homer was hit.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Jason. Coming up, we all need to take it easy every once in a while in order to stay sane. After the break, we'll show you how some people are doing that in a not so conventional way.
Welcome to sports, everyone. I'm Jason Kahn. Heading into Sunday, we knew that number 4 Syracuse and number 9 Wichita State were in the Final Four of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. That leaves 2 more games to be played, 4 teams, and only 2 more spots available. Could the Florida Gators make it back to the Final Four for the first time in 6 years? Keep in mind, Michigan seeking its first Final Four berth since 1993, days of the Fab Five. About a minute into the game, Nick Stauskas behind the back pass to Mitch McGarry. Ridiculous. Michigan would jump out to a 13-0 lead. Later, McGarry with the steal here to Trey Burke. Burke airmails it to Glenn Robinson III. One of Burke's 7 assists. Michigan up 20. It gets worse for the Gators. Nick Stauskas was on fire. 5 for 5 from 3 in the first half. He finished 6 for 6 at a team-high 22. For a moment, the Gators putting this game into sight. Patrick Young floats it in, cuts the deficit to 13. But Michigan has everything working in their favor. Matt Vogrich playing in the final minute of the game, his only minute of the game, hits the 3. The Gators come up 1 game short of the Final Four for the 3rd straight year. 79-59 the final.
They got off to a hot start, and us not being able to manufacture enough points, I thought, really dug us a hole. I thought we got the ball we wanted to go.
Basically, it started off with, those guys getting out of transition, and we probably had 1 or 2 guys back versus 4.
Number 2 Duke trying to knock off number 1 Louisville. Painful moment late in the first half. Louisville's Kevin Ware went up to block a shot. He came down and apparently broke his leg. Very gruesome to watch. Louisville perhaps drawing some inspiration from that. Russ Smith fighting a bad cold this week. Gets the bucket and the foul. Cardinals up 3. Later in the second half, Peyton Siva drives and a beautiful dish to Gorgie Jang. Louisville cuts down the nets, 85-63 the final. The Final Four is complete. 2 4 seeds going at it, Michigan and Syracuse, and Louisville, the only top seed to reach Atlanta, will face Wichita State. In the women's basketball tournament, defending national champion and top seed Baylor upset by Louisville on Sunday night. The Georgia Lady Bulldogs providing their own upset on Saturday night. Number 4 Georgia knocked off the top seed Stanford. They advance to the Elite 8 and will face number 2 California. That game is Monday night at 9:30. In the women's Elite 8, Louisville faces Tennessee. As I mentioned, Georgia faces California. Number 1 Notre Dame takes on Duke, and number 1 Connecticut faces Kentucky. When you have all the horses and when you don't have all the horses, you got to evaluate. Those words coming from FSU head football coach Jimbo Fisher after Saturday's practice. Only 2 weeks until the spring game. Fisher is trying to get a feel for how the redshirt freshmen are fitting into the system. From Roberto Aguayo at kicker to Chris Casher at defensive end. Expect to see all of those Noles to hit the field on April 13th.
As I say, you take the pacifier away. We know the coaches ain't out there and the things. You got to go out there and manage it yourself. If something bad happens, how you deal with it. If something good happens, how you deal with it.
The biggest thing is, just getting guys in the right place and, learning, all the little things, the plays and the ins and outs.
FAMU football also gearing up for their spring game, except they're holding it 1 week earlier. That's right. Next Saturday, the Orange and Green will be inside Bragg Memorial Stadium. This team may take some getting used to, and I'm not just talking about the players. 6 new coaches will be roaming the sidelines along with first-year head coach Earl Holmes. The former NFL player says positions are still being filled, especially at the line.
Offensive line and defensive line, we understand the game is one in the trenches, so we got to put some beef there, and that's where it starts, and guys just got to step up.
FAMU baseball hosting the rubber match against North Carolina A&T. William Carrasco on the mound for the Rattlers. Carrasco beat up a little in the first. Dylan Hipp rakes this into left center. 1 run would score, and Hipp gets to third, but he's given home on a throwing error. 2-0 Aggies. A few batters later, Brandon Wilkerson cracks a double into the gap. Rattlers bring some offense, but they lose 12-7. The Florida State softball team beat Maryland 14-9 on Sunday. Kirsten Austin goes 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Courtney Cenas homers. She had 5 RBIs. Opening night in Major League Baseball, Houston beats Texas 8-2. Only game played on Monday. The Atlanta Braves and the Miami Marlins swing into their seasons. The NBA playoffs are only 2 weeks away. Miami is not just the best team in the Eastern Conference, but they're the best team in the league. Both LeBron James and Dwayne Wade out for Sunday night's game against San Antonio. Third quarter, Spurs up 1. Kawhi Leonard unleashing the beast. Move, son. 53-50 Spurs. Chris Bosh doesn't take too many of these, but when he does, he's the most interesting man in the world, especially when there's only a second left in the game. Miami wins 88-86. At the Houston Open, D.A. Points pars his last hole to earn a one-shot victory. It's his second PGA Tour win, and he's now eligible for the Masters. Andy Murray beat David Ferrer in the Sony Open final on Sunday in 3 straight sets. It is Murray's second Sony Open title, and he is now ranked second on the ATP World Tour. Now taking a look at your fishing game forecast, those are your peak times to go hunt and go fish. Florida, your pick to win the national championship in your bracket, no longer there. I know it's tough for all Gators fans, and I even had them going pretty far.
Well, let's say I'm not a Gators fan. I just thought they might win. And don't throw me on the bus. I know your bracket wasn't that good either.
Everyone's brackets are pretty rough right now.
All right, thanks, Jason.